BB gun shooting. He also enjoyed many of the projects such as leatherwork, whittling, and the construction of a bat house. Jared was awarded the Arrow of Light as a Weeblo Scout in 2011. The Arrow of Light award is the highest rank in Cub Scouting that they can earn. Earning this rank prepares a Weeblo Scout to become Boy Scout and is one of the only awards that is earned as a Cub Scout but is still worn on a Boy Scout uniform. When Jared crossed over from Cub Scouts into Boy Scouts, he was in 5th grade. After visiting many troops, he joined Troop 128 and later Troop 60. Jared quickly earned Scout rank and completed the Tenderfoot, 2nd class, and 1st class ranks, all in under 2 years. Then Jared crossed over into Boy Scouts. His younger brother Elijah joined Cub Scouts. This gave Jared the opportunity to get involved with the younger Scouts and help out at the pack level. Throughout his years as a Boy Scout, Jared served as troop librarian, formulating a new system for troop blending library, including bookshelf and alphabetizing materials. He also served in a patrol leader, participated in 26 campouts with 98 overnights, 150 miles of hiking, and over 120 hours of community service, including scouting for food, the Joslin Road cleanup, as well as fellow Eagle Scouts projects, in addition to his own Eagle project. Jared has many great memories in scouting. However, a few of his favorites are yearly summer camp experiences at Lost Lake, Gerber, Camp Rotary, and Cole Canoe Base. Jared, what was your favorite out of all of those? Rotary? Good. Jared continued at a steady pace and earned his star rank, and in less than 1 year, his life rank. At this point in Jared's scouting career, he knew it was time to get serious. Jared always knew that he wanted to achieve the rank of Eagle and continued to pursue his goal. Being that Jared is involved in many other activities such as high school music program, the Auburn Hills Fire Cadet program, sports, just to name a few, the ability to manage time and prioritize became a necessity. As a Boy Scout, Jared earned a total of 38 merit badges, which was over and above the 21 required for Eagle Scout. He enjoyed pursuing his interest in learning that all he could from each badge. Additionally, Jared earned both the religious emblems in Cub Scouts, the Paruli Day Medal, as well as Boy Scouts, the Ad Alteri Day Medal emblem in duty to God. The religious emblems enable a scout to grow stronger in his own deeper faith into the Catholic community faith. The trail from life to Eagle was quite a challenge due to primarily other commitments. Even though his mom may have worried just a bit, Trisha, right? Just a bit. Jared kept plugging away at his own pace. He looked forward to his Eagle Scout Service project, which was a sign that his heart was in it too. He chose a place that he always enjoyed visiting while growing up, Hawk Woods Nature Center. Depending on the season, it seemed that though things would move forward a little and then stand still, regardless, Jared's determination, ambition, and self-discipline persevered. In 2017, Jared planned, fundraised, coordinated, and in July of 2017, constructed a Gaga Ball pit for the City of Auburn Hills Hawk Woods Nature Center. He spent several hours, days, weeks, and months making sure everything went smoothly, and it did. The Gaga Ball pit turned out beautifully. This was all made possible because of the support of family, friends, scout, leaders, and area business. Jared has grown tremendously through his years of scouting, from a bright-eyed boy through the Cub Scouts to an exceptional young man. Jared had many great experiences in scouting, but the highlight of his scouting career was definitely the trip to Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico in the summer of 2016. Will Mr. Mike Hand come forward and tell us about this, share this Philmont experience with us?
Out to Philmont on my second trip out there. And Jared did a tremendous job, team leader, engaging with the rest of the troop that had patrolled through that project, through that effort. One of the things I just wanted to clarify, do you recall the toilet paper incident?
Which one?
Which one? I only thought there was one. The one, did you drop it or did someone?
Into the toilet?
Yeah,
it wasn't me. It was like, okay.
It wasn't you.
So I don't remember who it was, but we were passing the toilet paper because there's like back-to-back toilets. We were throwing it bounced off the wall and right into the toilet, and that's the only toilet paper that we carried it with us throughout our whole trek.
So needless to say, the adults, we had our stash, right? And that was the boys' stash. So I don't know what happened after that. As soon as we got to the next commissary, I'm sure we replenished our stuff. But that was a funny story from the get-go. And probably that was like day 1 or day 2 of this trek. We picked a excruciating trek, I think, from my perspective. I think the trek was right around 90 miles. And I think Mr. Muzzy reported on his phone probably 125 miles of hiking for the 12-day trek. Quite a bit. The thing that astonished me the most is that these guys, and Jared was probably one of the leaders of it, would go and play mountain ball. What's mountain ball?
It's like football on the mountains.
Football on the mountains, okay. They play baseball, right? Out the Miranda area. They played volleyball on the side of the mountain, right? What else did you guys do after hours? I was already at my tent, ready to crash, so.
Well, we hiked around a lot, like just extra, or found rivers and streams.
Yeah, so I think, I would imagine that we heard 150 miles. That's probably a little shy, because I bet you Jared and the rest of his patrol did probably at least 150 during that Philmont trip. These guys never complained, and I knew Jared was going to be a strong asset to our crew. We had kind of an older crew, and I was happy to take my weight and put it on these guys, and they did it. They had no hesitation at all. With Jared's strength in lacrosse, marching band, everything else, he had no problem carrying a 50-pound pack, carrying all the water, carrying the food, whatever we needed, he was there to do it. So even at the top of volley, what did we do at the top of volley?
You did push-ups and sit-ups and planks.
So who goes up 12,441 feet after a strenuous hike all day up? And I do recall on the way up, one thing that Jared likes is he likes the gadgets. So as soon as we cross a stream, this guy's filtering water. Hey, let me try it. Let's taste this. But all the way up and up to the top of the peak, and he and the crew start pumping out push-ups. I'm just taking pictures of these guys. I don't know where they get their energy from. But it was a tremendous trip, a tremendous hike, and I was honored to do it with Jared. So, Jared, congratulations on your rank, and appreciate it, and was honored to make this trip with him. Thank you.
To its principles.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout laws, to help my people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and ready.
So once you take the Eagle charge, it is your responsibility to maintain the qualities you demonstrated to be recognized as an Eagle Scout. At this time, we can have all the Scouts come forward to remind us of their colors and commitment to Eagle. Mr. Ray, will you please come forward to lead the Eagle Scout charge and pledge?
I'm Mr. Ray, an Eagle Scout and Scout leader. Jared, you have just recommitted yourself to the principles of Scouting. You now have a new, more intense obligation to your troop, your church, and your community. The knowledge you have gained in all areas of Scouting will better enable you to be prepared for the future and its challenges. The Scout motto of "Be Prepared" takes on a new and special meaning, especially for you. The Boy Scouts of the world constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in history, and you have been counted worthy of its highest rank in its membership. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. If you fail, you bring down the good name of all true and worthy Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts, to your country, and to God. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend on the qualities she instills in her citizens. You are prepared to help America in all that she needs. She has a great past, and you are here to make her future better. I ask you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the high level of service to God and to your fellow men, to finest living. We have too many who use their strength and their intellect to exploit others for selfish gains. I ask you to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good. Build America on the solid foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. Whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record of which every scout may be proud. Jared, as you light your eagle candle, reflect on who you are and who you want to be. It is now time for you to make your eagle charge and pledge. Jared, scout sign, repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to these promises of the scout oath.
I reaffirm my allegiance to the promises of the scout oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
Thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example
to make my training an example,
and my status and my influence
and my status and my influence
count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship.
count strongly for better scouting and better citizenship.
In my troop, in my community,
In my troop, in my community,
in my contacts with other people,
in my contacts with other people.
to this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred oath.
Jared Nelson Anderson, by the authority vested in me and by the National Court of Honor and the Great Lakes Council Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to promote you to the rank of Eagle Scout. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you the newest Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America, Mr. Jared Nelson Anderson.
Today, she pins the Eagle Medal on you, knowing that you've proven yourself that you know what it takes to realize your full potential. And while she knows her job is not done, she knows it's been a job well done. Jared, the Eagle Neckerchief, the Scout Chief, is a symbol of your independence and perseverance. You have proven that you can stand on your own and conquer the challenge ahead of you. Stand symbol, will you please replace it with the Eagle Neckerchief secured with the Eagle's slide. So as your mom puts on her neckerchief on your parents, you know that you will grow into a man as taller and stronger than they could imagine. This makes them very happy. It is a tradition in Troop 60 that the Scout mothers receive a pin for each rank earned in Scouting. These pins are a recognition. It says for making sure that you've done a good meal and making it to troop meetings, for helping you get ready for outings, doing your laundry after, especially after Quinnia's feet, right? Quinnia's feet after summer camp. And for the gentle reminders, maybe more gentle reminders, to get your scout work done. She's done to define your character and develop you as a leader. The simple pin recognitions the nurturing actions, caring words, and loving hugs. It recognizes the love of your mother a love like no other that is drawn on when the road gets hard, and when you do not want to push any harder, and will love you in turn during life's future challenges to help you be the best you can be. This is what the medals pin represents. So the Eagle Scout would like you to pin up to that. Jared, for your encouragement, brotherly love you receive from your brother, please present Elijah with this pin of appreciation. Very good. You guys can be seated. Your scout troop is very proud of you. You represent your troop with distinction.
So, first I would like to thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to attend my Eagle Corps of Honor. It means a lot to me. Today is such an honor for me to receive my Eagle Scout Award. I could not have finished such a task without the help of my family, Scout leaders, and my friends. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to show my appreciation. Eagle Scout is not just a title, but it represents the maturity of a Scout who is prepared to make the world a better place. One that will leave an imprint and possibly a legacy for others to follow as they embark on their own journey through life. Scouting has been a big part of my life. It has taught me a variety of different skills that I will definitely need and use in my future. I know I would not be the same person I am today without it. There are so many fun stories I could tell you, but there happens to be a lot of adult Scout leaders in the room right now. And I don't want to keep you here all day, so I'll keep it to just a few of my favorites. One of my favorite troop events is at summer camp. It was one of my first overnight experiences, and it was at Lost Lake Summer Camp. There was a tag team triathlon, and we were all choosing who gets to do what. No one wanted to do the swimming portion because the lake was filled with seaweed, and it was home to 3 big snapping turtles. I stepped up to the challenge and jumped in. At Camp Rotary, summer camp is always fun, but some of my favorite parts are going to the camp store and buying slushies, hammocks, and best of all, pocket knives, in which I now have quite a collection. Let's just say I learned quickly that there's a time and a place at summer camp for throwing tomahawks. That's a story for another time. Summer camp is a great place to focus on merit badges and really get stuff done. Some of my favorite merit badges I earned at summer camp were archery, wilderness survival, and welding was pretty cool too. A couple years ago at summer camp, I received a first place award for a a timed target course that included shotgun, rifle, and archery, and a throwing knife target at the end. I received the top shot for first place overall. That was pretty cool. When we were not working on skills or preparing meals, we liked to play gaga ball, swim, go fishing, and go on hikes. I remember fishing even if I didn't bring my pole. I'd come up with a makeshift fishing method that would make it interesting and add it to the challenge. Fishing was my standby in between meals snack over a campfire. I definitely made some of my best memories of summer camp. One of my other favorite campouts took place in the winter. We were up north with the objective of sleeping outdoors in igloos. When we arrived at the camp, we piled out of the cars after a 3-hour-plus car ride and began to unpack. While planning for the igloo campout, we didn't realize that the forecast had changed and it was going to be below freezing. Luckily, we were able to get treehouse shelters that would keep us a little warmer. That weekend, we were working on the emergency preparedness branch. After some fun sledding and building forts in the snow, we went to bed, and it was a good thing that I brought a warm sleeping bag and lots of blankets. When the weekend was over, we packed up, and as we were loading, we grabbed our clothes we had worn the day before that were hanging out. They were so frozen solid and stiff as a board, I couldn't even fit them in my bag. The weather didn't keep us from having fun. Another fun memory was back in 2012 when my troop, my mom, and I ventured on a long-distance bike ride. Not just any bike ride, but a bike ride that was over 25 miles long. I was only 12 at the time, and we traveled from Camp Agawam in Lake Orion to DeBarre in Metamora. We were on dirt roads most of the time, going up and over massive hills, and for this long ride, I chose to ride my one-speed BMX bike, which made the trek even more challenging. Overall, I would have to say my most memorable scouting experience was my trip to Philmont in Cimarron Valley. Some of my closest friends and I fundraised, practice hiked, and over a year of preparation, boarded a plane to Colorado, and then were bused the rest of the distance to Philmont's base camp, where we prepared for a long trek. This trek was a memory in which I will cherish for the rest of my life. We spent 2 weeks in the mountains, putting our scout and survival skills to the test. The highlight of the trek was the elevated trail to Mount Maldi, which is 12,441 feet in elevation, and absolutely amazing at its peak. I won't forget the true challenge wasn't only the climb, but having to manage the trails by map and compass while trying to get 2 donkeys to move forward at a pace to keep us on track. I don't know whose idea that was, but the thought is that they're supposed to lighten the load. That didn't. However, that wasn't the case. Last summer, I completed my Eagle Scout service project, along with the help from my mom, who's also my Eagle Scout coach, and many of my scouting and non-scouting friends, families, and neighbors, and area business. The project I planned was to construct a gaga ball pit for Hawkwoods Nature Center in Auburn Hills. We didn't just complete the project, we had fun doing it. I had always hoped to give back to the city of Auburn Hills, where I had enjoyed many activities and events while growing up. I am grateful that my goal has become a reality. After many weeks of fundraising efforts towards the $1,400 gaga ball pit project, and after planning, organizing, and 2 days of construction, my Eagle Scout service project was finished beautifully and still looks great to this day. It is really rewarding to have people tell me, that they have seen or played in the gaga ball pit that I've constructed while visiting Hawkwoods, either with scouts or family. So now I would like to take a moment to recognize a few people that put extra effort into making sure it was possible that I earned the rank of Eagle. So first of all, I would like to thank my mother, come up here please, who is also my Eagle coach and mentor. She has always encouraged me and helped me to do things that I would never even dream of accomplishing. Thank you for making sure I stay involved in my many extracurricular activities to keep me busy, engaged, and active. I enjoy everything you do for me and have me do. You are always supporting me and have always devoted your time taking me to all my activities, soccer, lacrosse,